Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we smash apart the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco, and Kyle, I'm going to ask you a question that will certainly have a generational divide.
Oh, okay.
Who is your favorite cinematic werewolf?
Favorite cinematic werewolf? I would have to say the werewolf from the Monster Squad.
Oh.
Wolfman's got nards.
Wow. You don't. Oh, I love it. That's awesome. So I always had a sweet spot in my heart for American Werewolf in London.
Oh, yes.
Right? And then Michael J. Fox,
Downlanders.
Teen Wolf, right?
Teen Wolf, yep.
If you asked anyone under the age of 25, they're going to say Remus Lupin.
Oh,
right.
right. Mm-hmm.
So, because
Potter series.
werewolves have had just a very interesting stretch across generations, across entertainment. I mean, there's all the ones. And then, and of course, we're not even going to talk about that certain movie series that I still have never seen any of the episodes of. I believe it was Dusk. What was it called?
It was something like that. Something about some of the sky thing. I think it's the one that I like to torture my daughter, who's a fan, by coming up to her and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna marry that baby."
Oh, and I actually know that reference, but I've never seen the movies. Okay, so what does this have to do? Well, there's only one thing you could think of at the very end of the minute we are about to discuss. So,
oh yes,
there we go.
There's definitely some werewolf, some lycanthropy notes here in minute 78 of the film from 2008 known as The Incredible Hulk, directed by the one, the only Louis Leterrier.
Yay!
So we pick up in Dr. Stern's House of Horrors. As Bruce is now strapped in to this table, and we see the blood. So a lot of, like, as much as there's some werewolf stuff, there's also some vampire stuff here too, because this minute is really a lot about the blood. So we see his blood going out into the dialysis machine. We see it, even spiraling up in those cool little tubes there. As Bruce is there, and the blood is now then being pumped through this machine. Betty says 2 words that have usually the opposite effect. Just relax. It's just like when someone says, "Calm down." Has anyone ever calmed down after being told to calm down?
Hey,
has anyone ever relaxed by saying, "Just relax"?
But once again, this is of all the times you could tell Bruce Banner, "Just relax," this may be the most ridiculous moment and circumstances to tell him that, which of course is the reason why that's the way it was performed, because it's completely funny. Yes.
Yeah, because the exact opposite of relax is what we're going for in this, once all the things are up and running.
Right.
I'm not sure if this was Edward Norton writing or if this is still some of Zach Penn's original script, but I really like the dialogue they give to Stearns, because the same way that Thor spoke Shakespearean, like, he speaks scientist, but I'm not sure the words are the real words he would be saying. So he says, "And we are comprehensive."
Yeah, that just seems...
Is that the right word in this? Maybe I'm not a scientist, so maybe that is the right thing. But, like, is that really the right word in this situation? But it's scientific, so okay. We get to see they're moving into the next phase of the operation, and we don't exactly know what it is, but we know it's probably going to be painful. Stearns hands Betty something, and then he starts spreading gel on Bruce's temples. And then so the thing she had, it turns out, was a rubber mouth guard, because things are going to get intense, and we don't want Bruce hurting himself.
Don't use his wallet.
No. Yeah, that's right. Don't use his wallet.
Because he doesn't have a wallet. Wait, what am I talking about? He has no wallet.
That's right. He's in gym shorts. He didn't know. Well, yeah, he didn't even have any ID. He didn't even have any money. They spent all their money on that cab ride.
Exactly.
Now they're broke. Once again, another great Stearns line. He says, "All right, you set to pop?"
Okay.
I'm set to think.
Right.
And so then he gets ready, and then Betty, oh sweet Betty, is holding Bruce's hand, and Stearns says, "I'd take your hands off him."
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's like for 2 reasons. 1, there's a transformation coming if we're doing this right. And 2, I'm about to shoot electricity into his brain.
Oh.
So, the funny thing about electricity, it travels. So what he's doing is called electroconvulsive therapy. This was, you guys might know it as electroshock therapy because it's the same thing. They just call it something else now. So this is a real medical thing that I remember them doing this to Dorothy in 1985's Return to Oz and thinking it was barbaric back then. But it turns out, no, it actually has real medical significance. Some serious like mental disorders that are actually helped by this. So it's basically they pass a current across the lobe between the two ends, so the positive and negative, and then actually will help. What they show here is not accurate at all because like he holds it up and you see the sparks. they basically treat it like they're jump starting a car, which is not really how it goes. But I guess when you're going to trigger a Hulk out, that's what you do.
I'm also amused that, okay, so electroshock, everyone kind of knows that, and you said the new word is electroconvulsive therapy.
Electroconvulsive therapy.
So
ECT.
In the rebranding of electroshock, they kept in the word electro.
Right, yeah.
Because really, I don't know about that.
Maybe the scientist who renamed it was a Spider-Man fan.
Hey, can I add a sidebar on
Sure.
this? This is like part 2 of our cold open. Okay, so did you see the news? At the time we were recording this, in the last few weeks, it has been a little story that went viral about Triscuits.
Oh, I did. We've been talking about this nonstop in our house for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, okay, so Triscuits, if you know what this is, Triscuits, the little wheat sort of wafer crackers things. So everyone's like, wonder, well, what's the tri mean? And for years, people thought, the tri meant like 3 different grains or,
So
whatever.
someone online decided, hey, I want to find out, what does the word Triscuit actually mean? What is it 3 of?
And it's not.
It's not all what you think. It's like, so the thought was that it's going to be 3, like 3 of something. And so he contacted Nabisco, and Nabisco said, nope, that's not what it is. It's not 3 of anything. It's something totally different. Like, what is it? Well, we don't really know. It's sort of lost in history.
Yeah, right.
So he started, right. So he started digging even further. And then as they got along further, he found out that the Triscuit doesn't actually have anything to do with 3. The tris part is part of electric. So it's the real name of a Triscuit is an electric biscuit.
That's amazing.
Triscuit.
That is because
you go, what?
Because it was the first time electricity was used for the ovens. Was that it? It was something they were using electricity for the first time.
Yeah, they used electricity to cook these specific kind of crackers, and so they were an electric biscuit because they were cooked by electricity.
I guess everyone who saw it, and if you're listening to it for the first time, you're probably like, what?
Google it.
Yeah.
And while you're Googling that, if you also want to have your mind blown, find out why they call a helicopter, because it's not what you think.
Oh, whoa. Wait, what?
Yeah. I'm leaving that as homework for our listeners. Go look up the word helicopter and find out what's interesting
minute
about
78, and we have a homework assignment?
Sure. I mean, they have to do something when they're waiting for minute 79 to come out.
Wow.
So look up helicopter, find out the word helicopter, and find out what's weird about it.
Okay, sorry, I digressed.
It's one of those mind-blowing things. Meanwhile, a man is being strapped to a table and electricity is being shot into his head to turn him into a rage monster. Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good. You're all with us now? So, zap. And all of a sudden, and then they stand back and then watch happen. And so the eyes open and they're glowing green. So it takes about 3 seconds from zap to then the change is happening. And so this is where we get into talk about the blood a little bit, because we've never really seen a full transformation in full light. The first one was in the dark in the bottling plant. The second time was in the smoke, essentially, like they were at the university. So we got to see a little bit of it, but not really. Now we get to see it from Jump.
Right.
So we get to see and we get to see it from the blood outwards, because the first thing that transforms after the eyes are his veins.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Pretty neat effect.
It's really cool because like you see his veins go green because the Hulk's blood is green. Right. So you start feeding out, basically that's sort of where he's going to get his green color, is it's pumping out this green blood into his system. I was like, oh yeah, of course. That makes total sense in terms of their movie science.
And Ed Norton gives one of these most unbelievable horror-filled faces.
Oh yes,
it could be comical. It would depend on how you would take it, right? But in this case, it's just a frightening face. And the eyes, if we talked about the eyes before, they've done a wonderful effect with the eyes. They are luminescent green. And I will just say one thing I actually kind of wish they would have done in the scene.
Oh, go ahead.
I wish they would have done the sound.
Oh, the sound.
Because here's why. One, it would have been a throwback. And because we've talked about this before in previous minutes.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do it. They did the absence of sound last time.
Yes.
You would have made everybody go, oh, because here's how you could have written it away.
Yeah.
It's one of the machines in the room.
And then he goes and hits it, and it stops doing the...
I think it would have been brilliant to do that.
Yeah, in a movie filled with homages to the show. I'm surprised they missed that one. But yeah, because there's even a great shot, like really close on his face when his eyes open and they're glowing there too.
Exactly.
So then we see the real transformation beginning. We see his muscles expanding and forcing outwards, and we see that he's in pain. Bruce is like not really enjoying like all right, here we go. Like he is really this hurts a lot as it's going through, and then as he arches his back and screams, that's where a minute ends.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, in mid scream.
So what happens is two quick things to note. Yeah, before it ends is we do get a close-up shot of the wrist, and you can really, it's great, nicely done. You see the green, like in various, like some luminescence, some not, of his fluid going through his veins and outside of the body.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
back in the tubes, the blood there is going
through
green.
that dialysis system that he's been hooked up to. So I think that's a great, again, call back all the way to the beginning of the movie. Awesome. We're totally completing this story of transformation. And then as he comes back with the scream, we are really getting into the werewolf CG. I mean, I was waiting for the snout,
like the head
for the snout to come out of his mouth. Like,
right.
I mean, all you could think of was werewolf when I saw this, especially because we ended right where.
Oh yeah. All you needed is a ripped up white shirt and jeans, and
or a Letterman's jacket, or a wand. Take whichever one you want, except for that movie that we won't name. But anyway, yes. Yeah. There we go.
I'll bury that baby. We'll have to find out how this transformation goes in minute 79. Will Betty be hurt? Will Dr. Stearns be hurt? Will anyone care if he is?
Hey,
we'll have to find out in minute 79.
Another question. Where would be the best place for people to talk about their homework assignment?
If you want to give this the answer to why the word helicopter is so interesting, you can do so on Discord. Yes. We have our very own Discord series of channels, including one dedicated to this very show, the Marvel Movie Minute. Then we have all the other movie, television, all sorts of discussions going on. But you can go in there and just you can say why it's exciting, and I'll say yes, that's exactly why it is, and then we'll have a shared moment. But you can just on Discord. If you want to find out how to get to there, you can just go to nextreel.com/Discord and follow the link. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you back here for minute 79. Hope you had a smashing good time. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.